Hey everyone, you're home on tools with James, and today we're continuing the patio conversion. Today we're tackling the entrance door. So this is the entrance from my garage into where the patio was, now the living room and theatre room. Follow along, I'm going to show you step by step how to pull out the steel frame and the door out of a brick wall. So if you did just click on the video to check out how to pull a wall out of a brick wall, please check out my other videos. We're doing the conversion of the patio here, and this is one step. You'll see behind me, I've got a nice new hardwood entrance door and a hardwood wall. So we're going to go through step by step how I've done that install. But no more mucking around, let's go jump straight in. Let's get this brick wall out and our new doorway in. Let's go. All right, so we're going to tackle this this doorway. So this is essentially going to be the main entrance into the new area. And we need to take out this course of brick that is above our door frame. And you can see here that I've just measured down, I've done that with a straight edge. I've just measured down the course of bricks I want to cut. All right, I'm going to show you the tools in a moment, but I'm going to use a rotary hammer drill, basically to take these bricks out the top. Now this door frame itself is steel, and it's one of these door frames that will be filled up with concrete. So they have this hole in them, and they can be backfilled in with concrete, or I'm not really sure what I'm going to find in there just yet, but normally they just pour a bit of rapid set or something in and it sets the door in its place. I have consulted the builder on this one, just to ask about it, and he said, look, double brick home with a tin roof, you'll have no problem opening up that doorway. I am going to run some beams when I do the frame that's going to go in here for the new doorway, just to make sure that it's all strengthened right up, but I'll have no problem removing those bricks from the top. And I don't know yet whether I'm going to have to angle grind this in the middle, or when I take out the top course and I cut down, whether I'll just be able to push it out. But yeah, I've got the cars out the other side of the garage, there's nothing in there, and we'll have to make sure we've got our PPE on for this one. I'll show you the tools I'm going to use for the job. So I've got my Bosch 9-inch grinder, and I've got one of these diamond brick cutting blades in there, a cheaper option than hiring even a saw. I think that was about 60 bucks this blade. You can hire brick saws, I'm not going to bother for this one. I've got my rotary impact drill, my Milwaukee one. This takes these SDS Plus bits, and as you can see I've got this big chisel. So I've already had a bit of a play with this, it'll make short work of it. And I've also just got a brick bolster. I just bought one of these, so I might do a bit of manual tapping some of these bricks out to clean them up at the end. But that's the equipment. Let's get dusty, let's hook into this job. Alright, so who doesn't love a bit of destruction? So we've got the bricks knocked out from above the door infill, and what's really good here is there's a double brick pylon going through there. So those bricks there are just loose now, and they'll all come off nice and neat. So the other cool thing is when the house has been built, there's an LVL in there, so there's absolutely no worry about the roof being able to carry the weight. That's a tin roof as well, so we're all sweet structurally. So we're laughing. We've got some brick down here. It reminds me of that, remember that scene in the Blues Brothers where she blows up the wall of the RPG and they've got to walk through the rubble. Got a bit of that action going on. But what we're going to do now is we're going to smack out this door, we'll get it gone, and then I'm going to work out this, like potentially I might just cut it down the guts and then just peel it out. I think it'll be easier. It's a 3-sided door. Hasn't got the bottom panel, so it should come out relatively easy if I do it that way. And the concrete slab that's been poured after the house was made is sitting in front of it, so I'm probably going to need to cut it flush at the bottom anyway, so I'll just do that with the grinder. So we'll go ahead and
we'll cut that, take the door off, cut that, and we'll chip away the bricks on the side with the door frame going, I'm thinking. Let's go. So I've got most of the mortar out of the top rail of this door frame. And as you can see, what's happened here is the bricky's just filled it up with mortar. He's laid his first course in there, and away you go. Good thing about this sort of frame, it is 3-piece, so I'm not going to have to cut it. I've literally just got to clear out all the mortar and brick. I'll be able to lift that up and out, and then I should just be able to peel my frames back. So it'll make the job easier than I thought. And there you go, I've got this one peeled back now, and you can see they've just filled it. It just fills up with mortar as they're laying their bricks. It's pretty easy, it was just nailed it off. It does have some little pins every so often that will tag into the back of it, but once you give it a couple of whacks with a hammer, it's just going to come away pretty easy. So once we've got these off, I'll be able to clean up that course of bricks really nice. Not that it really matters, I'm going to cover it with timber anyway, but for the sake of the exercise we'll clean them up. This is redundant, it's not live, so I'm going to have that. I'm going to take the bricks back to where it goes double course. So I'll take all that row of bricks out there, nice and neat. And that way we'll be able to do our nice timber entrance into the new area.
Well, all right, we've got our bricks all out of the doorway. We've got our old door and door jamb out the way. Now it's time to build the frame for the new doorway, and this is the fun bit. Goes up nice and quick. Just got to remember when we're doing this, we're going to put down the plastic course. We're just going to make sure that we've got a damp course between our timber and our concrete. The rest of it is just self-explanatory. Just watch along, have a bit of fun. Let's go. So I've got the hardwood door jamb in place, squared up, so we're all set. We've got 825mm gap in the middle. Doors are 820, so it should leave enough for us a couple of hinges and a striker plate. You would have seen there that I've just got the striker plate rebaited in, and I use my forcing a bit just to set that back. Pretty easy stuff, that one. For the hinges, because these doors are full hardwood that I'm using, I'm going to use 3 hinges instead of just 2, like most internal doors in this house. I've measured 200mm down. That's where the first one will go. I'll do 200mm up from the bottom, and then I'll pick my center, and I'll pick another one up from there. I want to show you the door jambs that I'm using. I got them real cheap, cheaper than I could make them. They just come in a pack, a door jamb kit for whatever size door you want. It's like $80 for a hardwood door jamb kit, so I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, you got to assemble it yourself, but really they're quite easy. So I'm going to fasten off these hinges, and then I'm going to get the door in place, and we're going to have a bit of a play with these couple of jigs
that I bought, these Ryobi jigs. I've got one there for putting the door handles and the lock in, and I've got another one for scoring the checkout that you have to do for the lock mechanism. So we're going to give those a bit of a whirl. So just the other thing to mention here, you'll see where I've put the screws. I've countersunk these and pre-drilled them because we're using hardwood. But this is where our jam will go and cover those completely. So those bits down there, they'll go straight over this, so you won't see any of the screws. Cool. All right, we've got all our hinges in place. We've got our striker in place. We're ready to test fit the door. All right, so we're mounting up the door. I'll show you what I do. And look, I'm not a professional door installer, but I'll get by. Pretty much, I'm just using whatever scrap timber I've got around just to prop the door up. I've got quite a bit of a step up here. And I'm looking for that sort of 3mm gap at the top. I'm leaving the spaces, well, not the spaces, the packing on this door, and that's accounting for my sort of 3mm that I've got. And then with the hinges, I'm sort of just leaving the tiniest gap here as well. That's sort of my 3mm that I'll get. So when I shut the door, I'll have 3mm right the way around. I've put a couple of screws in just for now, top and bottom. And basically, you just want to check just to make sure that your door is going to close over all right. And like if you have a look at that, like I'm pretty happy with that all the way around here. And I'm using, I'm not using butt hinges. I'm actually just using those full close hinges. So you'll see the hinge on the outside, which is kind of what I'm going for with the black through the house. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to screw the rest of it off, and then we'll put a door latch on. Okay, so my advice is to have the striker plate on the door frame first. Now, this jig has a little latch here that clips into the striker plate and gets you at the right height. So essentially, you shut the door, it clips in, right? So that's clipped into my striker plate, and then I'm going to be at the right height. So now, you can always just hold that and drill straight through there, drill straight through if you like. I'm going to clamp it off and drill it. So I'm going to just stick my clamp on there and we'll drill in. Okay, so we're right through now. Probably just full disclosure, the depth of the hole saw is not enough to get through a 40mm deep door, so I've had to attack it from the back side as well to get that to go right through. But we're nice and straight there. Now we are going to do the latch. So let's move on to that one. So we have a door. I've got all the hardware in, doors in place, gaps look good. I did fit out these loose stops in the back here, so this came in the door kit that I had. Really simple these. All you do is get your door in the shut position, hold them in place, and then just nail them in. And I've just put a bit of wood putty in over the top of the nail head. And you would have remembered that we had the screws in the middle of the door jamb that we're going to hide these with. So now, if I give you a bit of a look, now you won't see any of those screws. It's all nice and neat and hidden up. So we're going to move right along. So we've got our aluminium angle installed, and just probably one last thing with this is that plas course that we put underneath this plastic, this stuff here, I've wrapped it up and then screwed through. It might be a bit difficult to see, but I've screwed through into that, so if we do get water in, it's not going to get into our timber. And we've got this nice little edge that our lining boards will sit onto. You can cut that aluminium angle on your miter saw as well. It's totally fine. It's soft enough metal that you can cut, so that way you can get it cut to size. So we are ready to put on our lining boards. All right, so we're gonna have a look at the lining boards going on, and I've fixed the first one in place. Now for the first one, what you need to do is called face nailing, and that's where we're putting on the back side of the board here. We're nailing straight through the face of the board. So we'll see those nails
we're going to fix those off with a bit of putty, bit of timber mate. For every other board, what you want to do is called secret nailing with this tongue and groove. And what that is basically we're going to put the groove into the tongue of the board in front, and then we're going to nail onto the tongue so it gets hidden by the groove on the next board that goes on. Now, a couple of tips with this. I've got these whiz-bang clamps, they're Bessie clamps, and I use these to bring the gaps in on the board. And all you do, I'll give you a bit of a look at them. These ones spin around, so your clamp forces outwards, and all it means is you can actually get on the frame really nicely, and you can draw the board in. So I found that was a really effective way of bringing the board in. Now, if you don't have the whiz-bang clamps, it's a great excuse to go out and buy them. But if you don't, you can just screw in a treated pine screw or something to that effect, a bugle screw into your framework, your noggin, and then just get a screwdriver, something with a bit of leverage, and just bring your board across that way, and you'll get the same result, just a bit more mucking around. But I'm going to start laying these boards. This is the fun part, really comes together now, so let's go. And there you have it, our new entranceway. Just the one last thing that I do need to do is the lining boards down below the door frame. Now, the reason I haven't done those just yet, I haven't got my final floor level fully sorted out. So once I get my floor level, I'll know exactly where to run my boards up to, and then we'll be complete. But got better headroom now. This door is obviously full height, so we fixed that problem. It's much brighter, wider, and certainly a lot more inviting. Last thing I'll probably do for this door as well is just tint the window. We're going to continue with a black theme, so with that looking nice and tinted black, should look $1 million. But thanks for following along in this video. Next video, we're going to be tackling the brick wall inside the house. We're going to pull out the brick wall, the windows, and really start opening up the house. So stay tuned in the future for those vids. But thanks for watching. You've been Home and Tools with James. I'll see you in the next one.